Hey everybody. Hey Samantha. Hi Gloria. Hi Sherry. How you doing? Three of my favorite people. Yay. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing all right. I'm had a little bit of an energy dip yesterday just because I had a big energy outgo this week celebrating my son's birthday and cooking my ass off and um in an oversnowed New York City. Yes, it's beautiful and sunny here too. Um, Bright. I have my curtain partially closed because if I had it open, it would be like blinding. It's very sunny. So of course I've got like a tension headache that's hanging there and trying to bust through, but it's not going to. It's not going to. So you're melting. I'm so glad. I am so glad. And that brings us to uh, what we're going to be doing today. Um, my thoughts have just been all with the people that are not used to this weather, that are getting hit with the precursor of the coming mini ice age. So, thinking about the people in Texas, one of my dear friends has family down there and elderly parents that fortunately live next door to a sister that has a wood burner. But it's tragic. It's tragic that it's all the result of greed, you know. So thinking about things last night, I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Who are we going to talk to? What are we going to do? What's the agenda? And this came flying into my mind. Tara's aspect of ferocious compassion. And, let me get this out of the way and show you what I'm working with. I had my daughter's angelite crystal on here and it crumbed. It crumbed on everything. So, Monday, I'm going to be unboxing this particular deck, Tara Wisdom Cards. This is a deck that was created by the niece of my teacher in the Tara practice, Pramadasara. And by the way, down below is a link to Tara Datu for more information about Tara dance practice and all that stuff, and a specific link to purchase this book. And right quick here, hold on a minute, I will drop a link to purchase the deck if you are so interested. Give me a hot second to navigate to it. Many pages. Can I search for this? Default sorting. Product search. There we go. Oh, for crying in a bucket. So, yeah, Mercury is stationary right now. Dead stop. Thank the gods. But we're not done yet. All right, so here. Hold up as things slowly load. Hold up. I'm going to do this again. Thanks for hanging with me. Talk amongst yourselves. I thought to drop those two other links before I went live, but then I forgot about this one. All right. Let me see if it'll let me do this while I'm actually live. Well, what do you know? Here it comes. Tara Wisdom Cards. Boom. Boom shakalaka. Did it put it in? Yes, it did. No, it didn't. Hold up. There they are. Yeah, there they are. So there's just the Taradatu um, URL and then to the book and the cards. So, as you may know, uh, Tara is seen as the mother of the Buddhas in Buddhism, particularly Tibetan Buddhism. And she has a root manifestation, which is 0, green Tara. And then she has 21 other emanations that come out of that. And number 14 is an emanation called Ferocious Compassion. This can be a very strange concept for Westerners because we're used to thinking of compassion as being a peaceful thing. That if you're compassionate, it's like, oh, it's soft, very peaceful, very quiet, and still sort of compassion. But, and I know there have been some women that were involved in Tare practice that really struggled with this concept of ferocious compassion and how can those two things work together. So I want to go to the book here and read you what Prema says about her. First of all, she's purple-black, adorned with skulls, red eyes. Here, let me give you a good look at her. Skulls, and you'll see different images of her, but skulls and red eyes, very Kali-esque, and every one of those arms with an instrument means something. Adorned with skulls, red eyes, shooting thunderbolts from the hung on palms and soles of her feet. So hung is a syllable, and it's a syllable of power. Hi, Anne. Yay, yay, yay. So hung is a power syllable that shakes things up. It's kind of like an awakening thing. Her verse in the Tare practice is, praise her who strikes the earth with her hand or with her palm. Earth's foundation is shaken as she tramples with her feet. With a wrathful glance and the powerful sound of hung, she subdues confusion throughout the 7 realms. This is the aspect of the wrathful mother. She does not whisper when her children are embarking on a course of self-destruction. She shouts. Her left hand strikes the ground with a threatening forefinger. This awakens beings out of their complacency. Her right hand holds a vajra, the thunderbolt of skillful compassion. The 7 underworlds are all the realms of samsara, conditioned existence, where beings struggle and suffer in their ignorance. The syllable hung is a wrathful and emphatic statement of her ferocious compassion. She's frowning, but like a mother, there is tenderness behind the gesture. This ferocity is not to be misunderstood. Tara never moves from a place of anger. Her wrath is a skillful method to awaken, to educate, to save, and to protect. It is never meant to harm, to confuse, to belittle, or to demean. It is compassionate action dedicated to bringing about awareness. And I was thinking about, when the kids were little and Tam would go outside and play, and the rule was, if you're going out of earshot, you need to come and check in and say, here's where I'm going to be. And then we had walkie-talkies after that. But Tam was prone to wander. And he wandered one time. I couldn't find him. I called around, couldn't find him. I whistled, and I have an ear-splitting whistle. No answer. When I finally found out where he was up the hill, and I went to get him, and because I went driving around looking for him, found him, and when he got in the car, did I say, oh, honey, you really should have told me where. Oh, hell no. I was hollering at the top of my lungs until we got back to the house. And why was I hollering? Because I was fucking scared. So usually when a mommy gets ferocious, it's because she understands the nature of the danger. She understands that there has to be energy to meet the danger and to shake someone awake. There's a little meditation here, and she says, emphatically, Tara stands, wrathfully stopping any activity that would bring harm. Her voice, her stance, her intensity is ruthless. There is no compromise. The harmful behavior must stop. This is necessary not only for the sake of the threatened, but for the sake of the one doing the threatening, for the sake of their karma. By allowing someone to do harm, you are allowing them to harm themselves. As Tara, think of situations you must deal with that require you to say no forcefully while still holding all parties in the embrace of your compassion. You deeply feel the power of maintaining compassion in the face of aggressive, neurotic, dangerous behavior that requires a firm, wrathful no. So the sticky part here, and I mean, you know what I'm talking about here, right? And you know exactly the subject matter that we're dealing with today when we're dealing with people who are literally freezing to death and in unbearable, unconscionable circumstances because of the decisions of the greedy. So the sticky part here is while still holding all parties in the embrace of your compassion. How do we do that? How do we stand up to these people and say no and still feel compassion towards them? It can help if we consider the confusion that they are in. If we understand, because it's so mind-blowing for us to think of how someone can be so disconnected from the people that they are supposed to be serving. And so we're like, you know, how could this person? Well, the only answer to that is that they're terribly, terribly confused and traumatized. These are people that are traumatized into this level of confusion that allows them to behave in such a way that is harmful to other people as well as to themselves. So if we think about that, we can maybe drum up some compassion around, my God, it must be horrible inside your head. It must be a terrible place to be with thoughts that are so muddled and confused. It must be a terrible place to be to have so much anger and hatred directed at you because of your actions. Right? And in the case of Rush Limbaugh, it must be awful to leave your body and confront in an instant, all at once, the impact of the harm that you have wrought. So we can come up with compassion of the "it must suck to be you" variety if you can't get to true compassion. You know, we can think about how would we feel if these people were people that we actually loved that were behaving this way. So that can kind of help you get to a little bit of compassion too. But let's start with compassion for the people directly in harm's way, the people that can't bail out to Cancun, the people that are stuck in their houses with no heat and no water and no way to flush toilets. You know, the people in hospitals that were having to be evacuated from the hospital because there's no water. So ferocious compassion, you know, Tare ferocious compassion is the one that we need right now. And for our part, it can be terribly frustrating because we're sitting here going, what can we do? You know, people that have money can certainly donate. I know AOC has raised $2 million for Texas, while the senator that actually serves them was heading off to Mexico and getting a rude surprise. I mean, how did he even get to be on the plane buckling his seatbelt before conscience hit? And you know what that means. When I started to feel bad about it, is he started to get feedback about it. But you know, if you can't do that, if you can't give money directly, if you can't like go to Texas and bring water to flush their toilets, what do? Well, we can do this. We can generate energy and raise awareness around it, and we can get politically active. So you can get active on ResistBot. I have signed several petitions to send to them saying, you know, somebody's got to be censured or something for absolutely abandoning their job. So there are things that we can do, and we need to do them with a lot of energy. So when I put her out, I thought, well, I'm going to use this deck today, but I grabbed these power word cards, and I asked them, give me something that will help explain ferocious compassion to people that might not understand it. And the card that I picked was enthusiasm. So if you want to trade the word ferocity, ferocious, with the word enthusiastic, it's energetic. What we're getting at here is this is an energetic form of compassion. It doesn't sit by and say, oh dear, I'm not going to correct you. I'm just going to let you do. It's what stands up and says no with a force and an energy. So I'm going to use these two decks together, and I'm going to put our Ferocious Compassion Tara back in there in case she wants to come out again at an opportune time. And I'm going to, hold on. As you see, I have my purple and black on for our purple black Tara. I'm going to put my green Tara Satsa here. And if you haven't seen this before, this is plaster. It's made from a mold. And when the monks make these, whenever a monk from their monastery dies and is cremated, they add the ashes to the plaster, and they save some of the plaster from each old batch when they make a new batch, so that there are ashes of an untold number of monks in this beautiful object. All right. Let's put enthusiasm back in there as well. All right, let's pick our cards. These are nice and slippy. Like I said, I will review these on Monday. And I'm kind of out of Oracle decks, so this is getting sad. We might not have an Oracle unboxing this Friday. All right. I think we're going to take one from each. Come on. Come on, darling. And before we start pulling, let's offer a smoke cleanse. By air and fire, may we be purified and charged. And by water and earth, may we be blessed and made whole. As last time, I'm not going to pull cards for the black tassel or the white tassel representing the void and union. Those are kind of beyond us. So, when we work with the black tassel, we are working with the void, with full-on reality. What is. So let's look at what we're going to work with for the root chakra, and for our basic human instincts and our survival and our physical safety and reality in our physical being. Okay. Wait. I also offer sandalwood to Arya Tara, and we ask her to come, along with our allies and ancestors, guides and guardians. Come and guide our work today. Come and magnify the energy that we raise, and direct our prayers to where they are most needed and most effective. All right. Root chakra here. Attachment. Ooh. All right, so for the root chakra, we get attachment and discipline. And we have to look at where we are attached to staying in our safety and, our own comfort and our own survival, and where we're just not willing to step out of our comfort zone for others. Discipline talks about us not being knocked around by our instinctive fight, flight, So this is the root chakra is the animal level. And it does take discipline to not get yanked back and forth by our attachment to safety, security, stuff, the things that surround us. So we're going to look at, with the root chakra, letting go of our attachment and going about that in a disciplined way of starting to recognize when and where and how we are attached. All right, into the emotional body. So this is the physical body as well. So that attachment also talks about attachment to physical pleasures and the discipline that we need in order not to be led around by the nose. All right. Sacral. Serene peace. Okay, so for the sacral chakra, we're talking about our emotional body, and we have Tare number 15, which is serene peace. So emotionally, we really want to, emotionally, again, this is talking about not being hooked by our feelings, not believing in them as far as, they're telling me the whole story. They certainly inform us, but then we can't follow that up by investing and creating a story around our emotions. So serene peace means that we have to be clear about what emotional energy is and what its function is. So again, we're not led around by the nose by our feelings. Here we're led around by physical attachment and attachment to physical and sensual pleasures. Our cravings, those kind of cravings. And then this is talking about finding that peace when we allow our emotions to happen. We can feel the energy, process the energy, like through Tonglen practice, and then allow it to give us clarity about what's happening around us, but not to pull us back and forth. All right. Ooh, I like these two together. Okay. Now we move to the solar plexus, and this is where we come into the will and the identity, the seat of the ego here. Protection. Pulled way over here. And adaptability. All right. So this is where we can get into ego protection and the using our will, the actions that we take can be more centered in self-protection and keeping the precious ego from harm than in actually using our will to move humanity as a group forward, to move us ourselves forward. So here's where we need to be adaptable. We've got adaptability. All right, hold on one second. And okay, so the kind of adaptability here is practicing when we're kind of, here's what I want. So desire comes in here too as well. Desire about what I want. My will be done. And being protective of that in the sense that when we have an idea and an agenda and here's what we're going to do, and it bumps up against somebody else's agenda, and they say, well, don't do that. Can you do it this way because I've got this going on? And we can dig in and go, but fight for what we want. Instead, we can just say, okay, that's fine, and just adapt and move forward rather than making it into a thing. So, look at how egos have gotten us into this situation where we have people who are protecting their own wealth, who are protecting their own egos, because their ego and their self-worth is bound up in financial worth. That's the nature of their trauma, is self-worth is confused with financial worth. So they're very protective about what they have and what they want and their will be done. So this is talking about coming into adaptability as far as our will being projected. So we can have our idea politically about what we need to see happen, but we need to be adaptable to the circumstances and truly be open and listening to where our will is best spent. Here's where we're really needed. Okay. Okay. Actually, root chakra is the fight or flight, in my book anyway, because that is our instinctual. That is the reptile brain, and the seat of the instinctual is the root chakra. Basic survival mechanisms. Fight or flight is I'm being threatened. I'm under threat, and that's when fight or flight kicks in. So I see that more as root chakra. I see solar plexus chakra as then, no, here's what I want, and when we dig in. We dig in around here's what I want and desire, and here's what me, mine, the individual rather than the collective. All right, so here we go to heart chakra, and this is where we meet the other. This is where we open in compassion to the other. So the first thing is empathy, feeling for someone. Wow, remover of sorrows. Imagination. Interesting. I got to respread these. So the remover of sorrow. Again, I think this is just telling us that when we're coming from our heart center and we are truly in empathy with everything, we feel the sorrow of others. So we're moved to act because your sorrow is my sorrow. And and imagination comes into play here with just what can we do, thinking about what we can do, and moving outside of the narrow, just donate money or drive there and hand out whatever, being more imaginative, sending blankets and things. And I'm having a crisis of imagination right now, but that's what it's talking about. And maybe just also imagining what it would be like to be in those circumstances and what would I want and need in those circumstances. So knowing that, we can also just reach out to people with our words, with contact, just so they know someone is watching and someone is there with them energetically. So that's our heart chakra. Then to the throat, where we communicate. So not just communicating with the people that are in need, but communicating with the people that are making the wrong choices. Communicating about the people that are making the wrong choices to people that can make choices about them. Yeah? And making our words effective. So we're not just railing in anger and, saying nasty things about them and making jokes, although that helps to relieve some of the pressure and the tension. But this is about true communication and words that can help things change for those that are suffering. All right. Come on. Completion and self-esteem. Wow. Okay. Very, very interesting. Give me a second here. I think I need another one. Destroys negativity. Okay. So, Tare, the destroyer of negativity, is about negative thought and negative and harmful emotion. So this is talking about us mentally, internally, not just communication, but where we are mentally and where our thoughts are. And so we're talking about completing the process of dealing with our own negative mindset, the things that tell us it's never going to change. There's nothing I can do anyway. What can I do? I'm only one person. I can't afford. I'm not enough. I'm na 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 na. This is telling us that we really need to deal with this for good and for all. And I mean, are you ever going to do it like flipping a switch? No. But really being committed to dealing with that negativity. And harmful emotion is talking about projected anger. That when we feel anger, because we're going to feel it, bringing it to completion internally, dealing with that energy, transforming that energy into something useful rather than converting it into something that is harmful speech. And the negative messages that we carry inside certainly can be a product of our own low self-esteem and our own trauma. So this is talking about how we collectively just really need to deal with our own mindsets and engage in the practice that's going to help us not operate from those negative thoughts and those harmful emotions. I'm going to stick this over here. Now we go to the brow chakra. They're saying way over. Ooh. Transformer of poison and zest. Okay, Tare, the transformer of poison. She is symbolized as a peacock sometimes because peacocks eat poisonous plants, and that's where their colors, their brilliant colors, come from. That's the story, anyway. So the transformer of poison is about taking in, and we're talking about the brow chakra here, so we're talking about where we meet with each other intuitively and telepathically, kind of the collective mind, the collective unconscious, and looking at the toxic and poisonous belief systems that are still so prevalent on this planet, in our culture, in our religious practices. And that need not destroyed, but transformed, because there's energy in that as well. So the transformation of belief systems about who's worthy and who's not, who's saved and who's not, who's chosen, who's not, you know, we are all part of this collective, equally so, with equal capacity for enlightenment, carrying an equal amount of potential for Buddha mind in us. We are all equally Buddha, maybe unequal in the layers that are covering that realization that need to be removed. So zest here is also going back to ferocious compassion, in that we are going to energetically and passionately and enthusiastically go after rooting out these belief systems in the collective. And this is a tough one. Ooh, this is a tough one. Because when somebody's coming at you with their toxic belief system, how easy is it to flip that conversation on its head? In the moment, it's difficult because our anger is going to be kicked off, you know, our disgust, things like that, our own trauma for being raised in those systems, maybe. So that's really difficult. And the zest here is maybe if we just start talking about our own belief systems in an enthusiastic and loving way, we can help to sort of shift and transform those old systems. All right. Crown. Connecting with the universe. Manifestation. And gentleness. Okay. So, how interesting that when we get to the crown, where the individuality and the ego and the identity drops away, and we are unified with the rest, um, we can come to this place of gentleness. Because, okay, when we have manifested our own Buddha mind in our behavior, in our body, speech, and mind on a daily basis, there's no more need for defense. We no longer have enemies because we're not a separate being anymore. Everything that happens to all. It's a unified field. And so we can then convert this ferocity into gentleness and love everything into, its best state of being. All right, let's put these all. Can we see them all? All right. And I'm not going to wrestle with these concepts and meanings as we are doing the prayer work. I'll just, say what the words are and let your mind take them where they need to go for you. Okay? We are going to do a full mala. I'm using the black one today with the earth tones. I am in love with these colors, and I know I don't have those up yet. It'll happen when it happens. I'm waiting for Mercury to turn, you guys. Same thing with the lesson that I need to deliver to my patrons. I'm just waiting for Mercury to turn. Okay. So I'd like you to settle in, and we're going to go from black, back again, and back again. That gives us a full mala. And when you're doing a full mala and you get to the last bead, then you flip it around and you start with that same bead, to go the other direction. So it's like we pray this direction and then I'll flip it around, so we're praying back this direction, but we have to do that same bead twice in a row or you don't have enough. Okay. All right. I feel like there's something else I need to do here and I'm not sure what it is. Any suggestions? I need to get a drink of water for one. All right. All right, friends, just a reminder that the work that we do energetically, when we choose to focus together like this, it has an effect. I'm so sorry. It's been such a gunky week. But everything that manifests is first energy. We come from energy, we return to energy. And the energy that we generate here that is directed by thought and directed by compassionate action and ferocious compassion is very, very effective. So yeah, just validation there. All right, Luna, stop talking. Let's do it. All right. So I invite you to come down into your body. Just feeling your body, feeling your skin all over your body. From the bottoms of your feet to the top of your head, front to back, just feel your skin. Let the world fall away. And let's just do the 7-limb prayer to kind of make us ready to do Tara's mantra. And oh yes, Tara's mantra is down below in the description. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. All right? So, 7-limb prayer. We pray that Tara come, and she's already here. Remember, the moment before you think of her is when she arrives. So, to make ourselves ready, we bow to purify arrogance. We offer to purify greed. We reveal our negativities to purify anger, hatred, and war. We rejoice to purify jealousy. We request teachings to purify our ignorance. And we ask the teachers to stay and purify our connection. And whatever power we gain from this practice, we dedicate it to the empowerment of all. And we let those veils fall away so we can begin our practice. Starting with the void, sinking into the body, feeling the silence. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 Attachment and discipline, root chakra. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 Solar plexus, serene peace and clarity. Sacral chakra. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 Solar plexus, protection, adaptability. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 Heart chakra, remover of sorrows, imagination. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 Throat chakra, destroyer of negativity, self-esteem. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 Brow chakra, transformer of poison, zest. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 Crown chakra, manifestation, gentleness. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 Into union, let it all dissolve away into union. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 Now I'm just going to turn this around and continue with the mantras. I won't stop at each chakra. I'm just going to keep going, and we'll do it when we get to the end and flip it around again. So we'll do 2 repetitions of the mala without stopping. All right. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 Om Dare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Dare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Dare 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 Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare 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 Tutare Ture Soha. Om Dare 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 Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Dare 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 Tutare Ture Soha. And now imagine the goddess Tare, black-purple in color, trampling, stamping, striking the earth with her hand, shaking things up, bringing her ferocious compassion like a mother running for a child who's headed into the middle of the street. She thunders, "No!" in the syllable hung, and says, "This behavior must stop. My children being mean to my other children, my children endangering my other children, and so endangering themselves. My children confused. My children in need of clarity, in need of shaking up, in need of waking up. My children who need to hear my voice thundering to shake them into awareness that they are all equally one in my mind, in my heart, in my own being." Now take a nice deep breath. And as you breathe it out, feel the energy of the mantra emanating out through all of your pores, front, back, top, bottom, head to toe, inside out. Just feel the power of the mantra, the intense energy that it generates. And with every out-breath, you see it moving out from you in waves. And with every in-breath, that mantra multiplies inside of you. multiplies and then flows out in waves. The waves going out over your town, through your home, over your town, over your county, your state, your province, your country, your hemisphere, the planet. Feel the compassion rolling out in waves over the planet, the ferocity, the enthusiasm of that compassion, this strong drive for everyone to feel safety, to feel stability, to feel love and compassion, to feel seen and heard and cared for. This common need. Feel the power of the mantra going to address it and to bring remedy, to bring help, to bring everything that's needed, to bring assistance swiftly, to remove fears, to bring all that is needed. And now, as the goddess herself, because we carry her inside of us, all of her emanations, as our Buddha mind, we dedicate this by saying, may all beings be happy. May all beings be free. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. And finally, I dedicate this to my teacher, Premadasara. Ask that any omissions or mistakes be forgiven. And I ask for her long life and good health and abundance. That this practice also be dedicated to her and all the merit and all the good she has brought to this planet. Soha. All right. How we all doing? As always, when I finish practice, I have a hard time finding words. But maybe we'll let Tare give us some words here. Let me take 3. Ooh, and out they come. All right. Reflection, confidence, and we'll just take one out of here. Will. All right. So reflection, obviously, is just, letting this practice reverberate inside you is what I'm seeing there. Looking at how does your being respond to this mantra? How does your being feel after running the vibrations of this mantra through your system? And reflecting on that. And allowing that to instill in you the confidence that you are indeed the goddess herself in her many, many manifestations, her thousands and thousands of names. And that the confidence that when you point your intentions towards something, when you point your will towards something, you can do good. You can manifest good. You can transform harmful things. All right. So this is just Tara saying, believe in your magic. Believe in your magic. Have confidence in it and practice it. Practice it every day. All right. Um, please click like if you got something out of this, and subscribe and all that kind of happy stuff. If you feel like leaving a donation, I am eternally and internally grateful for that. Um, and your blessings are returned manifold when I get a wonderful surprise like a donation. It's amazing. So, oh, you're talking about what, the 9, 7, and 3? Yes, it does. Chariot energy. Choose to move forward with ferocious compassion. That's glorious. That's awesome. Absolutely perfect. Reduces to a 10. Yes, all of the numbers with the 0 behind it. The 0 is spirit, and looking at it in terms of Tara, 0 is the base Tara. It's like she's like the Fool card. And that's what, this deck. Ooh, I can't wait to do this deck for Monday. Tara and the Tarot, the base Tara with 21 emanations, that's where the Tara comes from. They talk about how the basis of the Tarot came from India, and Tara comes from India, from the Hindu. So, yeah, she is the basis of all this stuff that I do here. So, you look at the 0, has that vibration, has the full oomph of Tara behind it. So, but I love the connection with the Chariot card. Absolutely adore it. I'm curious. I want to look at Tara number 10 is joy and laughter. She's joy and laughter. So, I hope you take joy in your day. I hope you find some laughter and joy. For all the people that are suffering, know that we are with you energetically. We're with you in every way we can be. And I think that politically, we really do need to be very, very active about the politicians who shouldn't have their jobs anymore, because they have left their people not high and dry, but freezing cold and dry, So let's do whatever we can. If you haven't used ResistBot, please do it. Just text 50409 and text resist to 50409. It will hook you up from where you are, just keying in on your phone number. It's going to hook you up with your representatives, your senators, the White House. It will say, who do you want to send it to? Congress, Senate, whatever, whoever you tell it to. And it will say, what do you want to say? You can compose a letter. It can give you suggestions. It will send out things to your contacts, to suggest to them to use ResistBot as well if you want to do that. So it's a wonderful way to be active and communicative and doing something. And it's very simple. Okay, the empty set. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Yes, potential. The 0 is all potential. It's like the difference between the Fool and the world. The world is sort of everything manifest and available to you, manifest reality available to you. The Fool is all potential. That 0 encompasses all potential, but everything is unmanifest. So, okay. So, yes, I hope that you have a joyful day. And yes, lots of hugs. I can't wait until the day when we can stop giving virtual hugs and elbow bumps and we can hug our families again. And, I'm really looking forward to that. But in the meantime, yes, Texas, we pray for you. We pray for you. And I also want to say one thing, that I am not one of these people that says, let them suffer because they keep voting these assholes in. They are deluded as well. And there's a reason that abortion is still a topic, because it gets people emotionally hooked so they don't think about anything else. They vote on that from their root chakra and from their sacral chakra, and it doesn't ever hit their minds. So they are manipulated. These people are deluded and manipulated, and I feel compassion for them too. So there it is. Everybody deserves help. All righty. I love you guys. Oh, look we're just at an hour here. I love you. Thank you so much for joining me. Please hit that like button before you leave if you hadn't. It's helping me get where I need to go to my next level. I'll see you on Monday, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Stay warm, stay safe, wear your masks. Blessed be.